Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the attendees. I am Swati, your host for the day, representing Salotech. So, this exclusive webinar has been organized in direct response to the demand of our valued audience worldwide. Today, we will explore why meeting the stakeholder engagement is key to stability and sustainability post the automation of finance processes. Now, I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker, Shatish Pelaru, who is a digital transformation evangelist with 20 plus years of industry experience in architecting economy of scale products for client organizations. So, welcome, Shatish. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
this session.
Thank you. Thank you, Swati.
Yeah, so over to you.
Thank you. Uh, so let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Uh, my name is Satish Pelluru. It's great to meet you all. And today I'm going to discuss about the product which I had called iCapture. And we would like to discuss about what's the scenario which we were dealing recently, how the product of iCapture provided a solution for them. And please feel free if you have any questions to reach out. And I'll be discussing how high capture will address those needs or the challenges which you have it. I hope my screen is visible, and I'm just moving to the next screen. Okay. So recently we had one of the customer scenario, and we were working with how they had come up with a scenario saying that they had existing automation solution for processing invoices, and at the same time the existing solution is having a typical problems which I'll just mention right now, how what kind of the challenges which they are facing it, and how we want to uh, provide a solution with the help of our product called iCapture for AP automation. So one of the challenge which the customer was facing was invoice reception and validation. So most of the invoices which suppliers were sending were received by the support team, and the support team is processing the invoice by scanning or by sending an email. And weekly once they're getting all the invoice accumulated and sending it as a one file. And sometimes they're sending the invoices in individual mails. So the support team need to look at all these invoices and further need to key in the data. This is one of the challenge which they had. Of course, in such cases, even any OCR will fail. The reason being is I have 40, 50 invoices by the end of the week or by the end of the day, and I'm processing all at once as a single file. The second challenge which they had is due to all these support team activities, the processing time of the invoice was taking more than weeks time. So the shared team need to key in the data after receiving the file. They have to look at all the validations and everything. And the third challenge which we had come across is supplier invoices. Every supplier sending the invoices along with their other documents other than invoice, like purchase orders or any proof for the delivery or some other photos in case the pictures when they are delivering all these invoices. So what kind of a material when they're sending. So a file contains multiple pages. Each page have its own data, which is invoice plus other information which is not processing inside the ERP, those kind of files also as part of those kind of pages also as part of the invoice. This is one of the challenge which they were facing it. And the next challenge which we come across is non-PO invoices, which is another time consuming because we had approximately around multiple scenarios, different transaction types of the scenarios which they come across and manually or automatically when they are doing it. It was taking time to identify a department and everything. So With all these challenges which I just mentioned, we have a different challenge, which is multiple systems in the landscape. Like the customer was having Coupa, the customer was having iSupplier, and they were using Oracle ERP. Along with that, they had a barcode system to validate all the data, and a third party, another OCR automation system, which processing of invoices and everything. That's as an image processing system, which I'm saying it. So, what is the challenge here? The challenge here is due to multiple systems. There are supplier invoices in iSupplier, there are supplier invoices in Coupa, there are supplier invoices in image processing system. So, the customer was not able to identify which invoice they paid till it reaches to the ERP and it rejects as a duplicate. So that was one of the challenge. So with all these challenges, when we had a call with the customer, and these were the challenges were presented by the customer, and they asked about what kind of a solution which we provide. So as part of all this, we provided a solution with the help of an eye capture of our product of Silotech, and how we can provide a solution. I'll just so moving to the KPIs based on the challenges which we had. So there are multiple ways which we were discussing with the customer, and every product is having the same. The initially which we discussed, instead of sending multiple invoices to a share center, which we asked actually send invoices in a mail, and automatically we do the digitization with the help of our product of Have Capture, and further we provide the information to AP team for approving the invoices in our product Have Capture. So the second one here is we provide a notification to a requesters and buyers based on PO value or any other discrepancies, something like the data wise and everything. We provide information to request and buyers so that they can discuss with suppliers and to resubmit the invoices, which we can look at. And all the data discrepancies, communications will be done by the requesters and buyers. That was one of the points which we discussed. The third point which we looked at is every supplier will be looking at where is my invoice kind of a thing. So we're providing the invoice status to a supplier and further reports and dashboards to all the stakeholders. So the stakeholders, as we know, AP team, requesters, buyers, suppliers, CFO, and financial managers. So it depends on the role and operating unit which they are, and we used to provide dashboards and reports on the invoice status. Moving to the next screen. I hope my screen is visible. It's taking time. So if you look at the scenario here, it's a very simple. What we have done was, as I said, the challenge, the supplier used to send multiple pages and the documents in single file. So we used to identify the invoices based on one file with the multiple documents, and we used to digitize the data. And once we receive the invoice, we used to validate whether it is a two-way PO or a three-way PO, and different data validations, and we are providing with the help of Oracle ERP and the different validations techniques we used. And further, we used to match the PO data. Based on the PO data, if it is matched, then we used to create the invoice. If any PO data, if it is not matched, we used to provide a notifications further. They manually can key in, or they can inform the supplier to key in the data inside the iCapture, or further to or they can send an email again, invoice, automatically we extract and it creates invoice. Once the invoice is created, it is good to go for a payment, and invoice payment details will be shown as a report, and it can be all the stakeholders further what kind of an invoice it is, and where the status of the invoice, whether it is pending, status for approval, approved, or pending for an approval, or it is approved, ready to release the payment. So all the status will be visible to all the stakeholders where the invoice is. A different kind of invoices which we have is a non-PO. When it comes to a non-PO, the customer was having approximately 20 plus transaction types, various transaction types which they need to handle, like expense reimbursements or service contracts or utility bills, rents, maintenance, license and subscriptions, legal documents, and travel data, travel invoices. So all these we categorize what are the non-PO invoices which the employees of the customer used to have, and we provided a manual, a screen for the employees to enter the data, and further we used to provide an approval process. So with iCapture, it was seamless processing for invoice as part of an API automation, and further we provided a visibility to all the stakeholders in terms of reports and the status and where exactly the invoice is. With the seamless integration and notification, the stakeholders are happy, and it's going currently right now successfully with the customer's place. That's about the today's point of discussion, how we provided a solution to a customer with the current challenges which they were facing, and with the help of an iCapture, how we used to provide the solution. Please let me know if you have any customer scenario. We can definitely help and further to provide the solution using iCapture. Thank you.
Thank you, Shatish. Thank you for such an insightful session. And I would like to request all the audience, if you have any queries, please reach out to our experts. And yeah, you can also reach out to us at, you can mail us at marcom@salotech.com, or you can visit our website salotech.com. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.